Hello and welcome to episode 51 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Darby Hallman.
I am Jeff Man.
Jeffrey.
Darby.
We are over 50 now.
We are.
The path to 100 begins.
Indeed.
It's weird.
Yeah.
That's a high number. That's a lot of episodes.
Darby, between everything, we might have over 100 hours of content.
I think we definitely probably do. I mean, every single episode's like an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah.
But all our Game of Thrones and other spoilcasts and stuff adds up to make the difference.
I could actually look on my podcast app that I use. I could actually find what number, how many hours of content. So, I mean, if someone wanted to, if they wanted to go listen to a bunch of gaming news that's not relevant anymore, they could listen to only our content for like days and days and be fine. If they're stranded on some island with just our podcast, that sounds like a miserable existence.
Yeah. I just had a random thought. Because,
go for it.
Yeah, what we do on here, maybe we should go through some of our older podcasts and maybe pick out our evergreen like main topics and make them separate things.
That might be a good idea. If it's salvageable, number one, audio quality, and number two, just how bad we were at this at the beginning.
I agree, but
we'll see. Yeah, maybe that is a decent idea.
At least
there is a lot of like evergreen content trapped back there that could still be good, but you're not going to listen to a bunch of old news just to get to it.
Like our main topic from last week. That'd be a good one.
Yes. No, I plan to, and I want to separate that. Now, if you haven't watched that, last week we did our top 10 games of all time. Me, Jeff, and Will.
I did top 20. I'm not a poser.
Jeff did top 20 because he is not a coward. He is a brave boy. Very brave boy.
I have 20 games here. Let's go ahead and rank them all.
Jeff did the same thing. As soon as he's talked about, Jeff, I think you've talked about doing your top 100 albums of all time.
I'm working on that. I
imagine you would have to basically do your top 500 just to narrow it down to 100 or something like that.
I got it down to close to 150 already.
That's shows a lot of restraint by your part. I'm very proud of you.
Yeah.
Jeff, how have you been? We weren't able to record last week. How's school treating you?
Pretty good. I know for the most part where I stand. I could come out with all A's potentially.
Hey.
A1B.
How about
Get
that?
Get over that Leo GPA.
Oh, that's good. That's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all my mom hopes for.
Well, you got to make her happy. That's all.
Yeah, got to make up for my time as a PE major where things didn't go as well.
But you're about to graduate.
I am. So are you.
It's going to happen.
So how things are going for you? Or things any less stressful?
They're very stressful, but it's nothing cataclysmic. Like
the end is in sight.
The end is in sight. I'm going to graduate. Nothing's going to fall apart that much, but there is just a lot of work.
Oh yeah, and just because I just thought of it, I got your invitation to your little thing. I might be late.
Jeffrey,
I'm coming from Atlanta.
No one is obligated to do anything. I mean, the barbecue afterwards. I mean, that's going to be. I mean,
oh no, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, that's going to be fun. So people want to come to that, but people are like, "Do you have a ticket for me for graduation?" We only have a set amount of them, and I'm like, you don't want to go.
I think
that's hours of sitting in a chair just to hear my name said and me walk across the stage for like 15 seconds, maybe.
Yeah, I think we talked, and I got more if I was to do it at later. I think I get like 7.
You could get 7 tickets, yeah.
Yeah.
That's about how many I have.
Yeah, but I'm not walking, so. But the good news is,
screw the rules.
They said if you don't claim your tickets at a certain point, it's first come, first serve. So people get lucky.
There you go. You're gifting your tickets to someone.
I am.
Someone with a very big family that will support them.
Yes.
Like
mine. I'm going to see Camelot, and some 41, so it's all good.
That's the family you need. That's all that matters.
I need my Prague family.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Well, we have been able to play a little bit of God of War this week. A little bit, but we're not going to talk about that too much today because, number one, we have not really played that much of it, and we're going to talk about it so much once we finish it.
With Will, hopefully.
With Will, that you're going to be sick of us. So we're going to wait until then for the most part. I guess right now, Jeff, I'm going to look. All right, you have a minute. It's 6. All right, go. God of War impressions.
It's great. I think so far it's living up to the hype that people have set for it. Story is great. Combat feels very satisfying. Mm-hmm. The side content that I did, it feels kind of organic and feels like there's purpose around it and not just random side stuff.
Right.
And it's even contextualized in the thing when Kratos says, and it's not a spoiler, say, hey, if we do this, we can get equipment and all that stuff, pretty much. Like, get supplies for the journey.
Yeah. There's a lot of, like, directly say, like, another not really spoiler guy is like, I will upgrade your axe. It's like, okay. It's very direct.
I think that's mostly what I have to say. So far, it's, I think, living up to the hype.
Okay, you got it. Well, no, good job, Jeff. I agree with everything Jeff said. I don't think, so far, only a few hours in, but so far I don't really feel like what people are saying is hyperbole. Like, the combat is very, very fluid. It's so satisfying just throwing that axe and then calling it back and using that in battle. It's really cool. Yeah.
Have you gotten into the first real boss fight?
I mean, I've gotten to multiple boss fights. I don't know. Maybe I don't know the levels of boss fight.
Not a spoiler.
I've gotten to multiple things that had a boss bar.
Okay. You remember hearing Greg talk about the boss fight that's like the best superhero fight?
Way past that.
Okay, yeah. I figured. But
yeah. I pretty much have seen everything that's in the trailer.
Yeah, okay.
I think, at this point. So.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah. And then some, yeah.
I don't think Greg was lying there.
No, I don't either. We won't, I mean, like, again, no spoilers here, and we will let you know in the future when we're going to talk about spoilers. We are absolutely going to do a God of War spoiler cast. No, like, we're
especially me and you, and we're all playing it close, like, at release.
So
how often does that happen?
Never. This might be the first time since we've all been
I don't know
friends.
when the next time will happen.
Yeah. So we need to take advantage of it. Jump on this while everyone is playing God of War. Do you have sales numbers for this later on? I don't know if there was first week sales, because I would be interested to see how much it's selling.
Let me look.
Okay. I mean, I want to know, because, like, this thing is just, you have to struggle to find someone who does not like this game.
Apparently Lava is doing good in Japan.
Apparently better than God of War. It sold more than God of War. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know, but just so far, it's kind of insane that they just took this character that no one, like, he's just an angry ball of rage, and he's not a very compelling character, and they made an interesting story out of it. It's very, very...
Okay, I got one God of War sales related thing. I'll just throw it in there at the end.
Okay, but other than this, we're just going to be all news today, because we have 2 weeks of news to catch up on, and Darby needs to go do some schoolwork. So,
yes. Jeff,
are you ready?
Yep, give me 1 second.
Give me 1 second. Skiddly bop bop.
Skiddly bop bop.
Skiddly bop bop.
Jingle jingle jangle.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was waiting for. But
yeah.
Sure, that was pretty anticlimactic. Jingle jingle jangle. All right, Jeff, what we got?
Okay, first story. This comes.
Look into this microphone. Look into this glorious microphone.
From Andrew Goldfarb from IGN. Firewatch developer Campo Santo has been acquired by Valve.
What?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said to Darby in a text when I sent him the news. A post on Campo Santo's official site explains that the company's 12 employees have agreed to join Valve and will maintain our jobs as video game developers and continue production on our current project in the Valley of Gods. And in quote, from the post, we had a series of long conversations with the people at Valve, and everyone shared the satisfaction we take in working with people whose talent dwarfs our own to make things we never thought possible. Both sides spoke about our values and how, when you get right down to it, we as human beings are hard limited by the time we have left when it comes to making the things we care about and believe in. They asked us if we'd all be interested in coming up to Bellevue and doing that there, and we said yes.
So, this is one of the weirdest, like, developer accusations that I can remember in a long time. Obviously, at one point, this wouldn't have been that surprising because Valve was making games. Valve was a very prolific game developer and everything. But now it seems like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, like, I can't remember the last, like, big studio or last big game that Valve has been a part of, because just Steam is where they get all their money from that. So, like, I definitely, from Campo Santo's side, this is a good thing. Oh, yeah. This is definitely a good thing. You get the fact that they're able to, like, they're continuing on with Valley of the Gods. Nothing's changing there, but you get to move up to Valve Studio, which I'm sure is very well equipped, and you get Valve's money behind them and Valve's, like, marketing thing. You know this game's going to be, like, front page of Steam when it first comes out. So from Campo Santo's side, I completely understand this. This is
and Based on other Valve stuff, I assume this would still come to other consoles.
Yeah.
Valve's kind of company's like, we can make more money just giving this to other people.
Yeah, they really don't have a reason not to. I mean, people who want to buy it on Steam are going to buy it on Steam, but if they own it, there's no reason not to do that.
So that's the good news. So yeah, pretty much it's all like, yes, it's very weird, and like it's like, hey, Valve's technically making games again.
Yeah,
but it's good for Campo Santo. It's like, yeah, like you said, they get those resources.
So I guess just Jeff, put on your theorist hat. I feel like, let me know what you think, but I feel like the only reason they would have done this is if they're gearing up to try to get more in games again. I feel like this wouldn't have happened as just a one-off random thing, because it just seems a little too weird and random. Like, not that Campo Santo doesn't seem like a very valuable, awesome studio, because Firewatch was great, but it is one game. They made one game, and it was a smaller game. I think it sold more than you would have thought, probably. Yeah. But at the same time, it's still just one game. It seems weird that like that would be the studio that Valve goes for. It makes me think that this is just the first of maybe many.
Many.
Or at least
to Valve, I imagine this wasn't a big thing because Campo Santo, not the biggest studio, 12 people. So
right.
So, this could be the first of many smaller studios they might try to get their hands on and trying to build it up and may release more games, either a smaller one or go back to making their bigger games. Yeah.
I really doubt this is gonna, because this doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense. It's just a one-off decision. All right, Jeff, put on. By the way, we're gonna have random draft and NFL draft updates because we are recording this.
Bills drafted Josh Allen, QB from Wyoming.
Okay,
the Bills drafted quarterback.
Yeah, I don't even know who the Bills quarterback was after Tyrod left. So
and Colts got a guard.
They basically had to. Yes. Yeah, Baker Mayfield got drafted by the Browns, by the way. I'm sure if you're listening to this, that was probably old news.
Everything we say draft-wise will be old news to you.
Yeah, so it's probably not for you, though. All right, put on a second theorist hat on top of that.
Hey, everyone, welcome to Game Theory.
So you're starting to look like a crazy person, which is good for what I'm about to say.
Tinfoil hat now.
Yeah, tinfoil. Yeah, your second theorist hat is completely made of tinfoil. Yeah, are they making Are they getting Campo Santo so that they have someone after Value of the Gods that can gear up to work on some sort of Half-Life, Portal, any of those? If you had to say, what's the likelihood that could be part of Campo Santo's future or part of?
I can't see it because just based on the size of the studio and the games that they're making.
Yeah, I don't really see it either. Yeah. I'm just saying this is what's come up in
general. Maybe because if Valve's interested in making games again, those games like you just named are easy money.
The obvious ones, yeah. I do think, I think that we definitely, if this trend continues, you see them getting another studio, I would say it's almost like it's probably going to happen at some point, but I don't really think Campo Santo is part of that.
Yeah.
I don't think Campo Santo getting drafted here means that Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Oh, yeah.
But you will see this.
It's just going to be interesting to see what this is the start of, if anything, or if they just wanted Campo Santo.
It's just random. Like, I mean, it could be as simple as Gabe Newell and everyone else at Valve are like, we like these creative people. We want to work with these creative people, and we have so much money that this is nothing.
Or someone from Campo Santo lost the rights in a bet.
Or that. Gamble.
They're not going to say,
They gambled away their studio.
Yeah.
No, I mean, good for Campo Santo. They're going to make a lot more money. I think Valve pays their employees pretty well. And it's like...
hey, as long as this game comes out on the other consoles, I'm fine.
Yep.
That's all I care about.
The other thing is there going to be a Valve logo when Firewatch gets ported to the Switch?
Is it already on the Switch?
I don't think so. Maybe it is.
I know it's announced at least, yeah. Also, I cut out the part, but they did say they are going to also continue working on Firewatch stuff. Like any of the updates for that.
Okay.
While also doing Valley God. So, yeah, pretty much at this time, it's like we've been saying, the only change is Campo Santo is now part of Valve.
Yeah.
They're still working on their games, which is all I care about.
So weird.
Yeah.
So weird.
Yeah.
But good. I mean, sure, why not?
You want some news that's weird and not so good?
Sure, Jeff. Why not?
This comes from Jason Schreier from Kotaku. Last week, Quantic Dream founder and CEO David Cage flew to New York City to show demos of his dramatic new PS4 game, Detroit Become Human, to press. And you can play the demo now. And let's get back to the not so good stuff. Okay, in his home city of Paris, meanwhile, a different type of drama was unfolding. French journalists were defending themselves against Cage's legal charges. Quantic Dream has sued the French newspaper Le Monde and the website Mediapart for reports on the studio's working conditions, Kotaku has learned. As far as we can tell, this is the first incident of a video game studio taking legal action against the press for negative reporting. Cage and co-CEO, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that name, had threatened litigation in January when the reports hit, but some observers assumed that was posturing. It wasn't, as both Cage and the media outlets have confirmed to Kotaku. We learned about this unusual lawsuit in an unusual fashion. Meaning Jason, happened to be in Paris last week during press for the upcoming French version of the book Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, which Darby really likes.
It's really good. Get it.
At one point, I was scheduled to meet with Le Monde journalist William Otero, whose name I remembered from an explosive article in January reporting allegations of sexist jokes, extensive crunch, and racist comments at Quantum Dream. Quantum Dream denied the reports. I was looking forward to talking to him, but on Wednesday, my publisher told me that he was going to have to reschedule. They said he's caught up in court. Court, I asked, trying to put the pieces together. Does this have something to do with Quantic Dreams? My publisher didn't know the answer, but Kotaku senior reporter Cecilia
Wait, I know her. Let me see if I know.
Just about last.
I've heard it pronounced. I'm sorry. Cecilia I can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Sorry. Had a preview.
She's really good. Her stuff is really, really good. Yeah.
And yeah, I know I've tried to pronounce it multiple times before, probably. Had a preview appointment for Detroit and New York City on Thursday. Cage would be there. When she asked him what happened after the Le Monde article came out, Sony's PR handler shut questions down, but not before Cage let out one piece of information slip. We're suing their journalists, he said. And of course, there's more information. There's more information in the article, pretty much just going over what's happened before.
Yeah, but Jeff left out a very climactic cliffhanger there. That was good.
Yeah.
I think this is. Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like there's been lots of there's been some updates to this whole Quantic Dream thing. I don't really think we've talked about it much here on the podcast.
No,
mostly just because it was kind of an unraveling thing. It's like we don't know.
I think part of the reason I don't know if we really talked about it here. I don't think part of the reason I didn't put it on there, and I guess I assume like you didn't bring it up either. It's kind of he say she shade,
Yeah, he said she said. Yeah.
And. But we wanted more information before we kind of talked about
now that this is an actual legal battle that's going on, so I feel like it's time to talk about it now. Yeah. And it's weird. I mean, no matter what, the way that Quantic Dream initially handled this and some of their like messaging, some of the way they've talked about this is bad. Even if everything was completely like not true at all, the way that you respond to that is we're gonna look into it and make sure it's not true. No, there's no way this happening because like
we worked with Ellen Page.
Yeah, and it's like I mean David Cage, you don't know everything that goes on in your studio. Maybe some of this is happening. Have you checked? Have you like looked into any of it? And it's so regardless, it was bad. The fact that they're going this far into the legal battle maybe means there was shady journalist practices here. It doesn't really seem like, and I'm also biased as someone who like works in journalism.
I'm going to throw this out there, and this is just me reading other people's opinions about this, but people have said like these two people and the other ones who's wrote an article about it, but it's not getting sued for some reason. They said like these are like the most trustworthy journalists in France.
And if you read those articles, they had like there was a response from Quantic Dream and from everything. Like it really seemed like everything was there. They had the sources for things. They gave both sides a fair thing, and they didn't say this is 100% happening. They just like this is this is what we heard. This is what we've heard. It doesn't really seem like anything's gone by. And honestly, David Cage's and Quantic Dream's very like defensive reaction. I mean, this doesn't surprise me that much. So I don't know either way what's going on with it. Though, did you see? I forgot to talk about this to you before. Did you see the? There was a GameIndustry.biz article that came out yesterday. It's the title of it is called "The Red Flag of Passion." It's a really good article overall. Mm-hmm. But in part of it, they took the Quantic Dream like official response to all of this that was going on, and the Naughty Dog response to there was a sexual harassment allegation last year. They're literally identical. You just take out Naughty Dog and put in Quantic Dream. It's like word for word identical. And it's like harassment in this has no place at Quantic Dream / Naughty Dog and never will. We're going to do this, or whatever. It's like literally like copy and paste. kind of gross.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like a lot of these companies have a lot of learning to do when it comes to sexual harassment. Any of these things, like
I know it's Quantum Dream's working with Sony. That's weird though, because Quantum Dream is technically not Sony.
Yeah,
they just work on Sony games.
That is true. I didn't think about that, but that is weird. But I mean, like, you need to look at it. Like, at home, definitely read that article, because the article goes into a lot of other things. It's just a really good article.
Put in the doc later, and I can read it.
Okay, yeah, I completely forgot about it until like you were reading that, so I looked it up. That's troubling.
Yeah.
It's just troubling that these aren't like real responses to it. I understand it's hard. It's hard to, because everything you say can be used against you in legal terms, but you still need to work on that, because people are going to figure it out that you're doing it. Yeah, I don't know. But I'm not like comfortable in saying that I know one way or another on this. We're just kind of
it's kind of a weird thing. It also puts it a weird thing. It's like, as far as like Detroit hype, I've seen a general thing of people being conflicted, and I can't necessarily blame them one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame anyone for who wouldn't want to do it. This is something that I constantly struggle with, where like, if we didn't buy art from everyone who did bad things, we would just never be able to enjoy art. And even if David Cage let bad things happen, or someone else let bad things happen, there are hundreds of other people who worked with Quantum Dream who never did anything wrong. Yeah. And do you want to punish them for the things other people did? It's a dilemma. I mean, this could be an entire another conversation. It's very hard I can't fault anyone either way with these type of things. And it's just, we don't know. It's just, you don't know. So,
well, speaking of Detroit, wait probably next time I have impressions of the demo.
Yeah, I should probably play that at some point too.
Or at least we should both maybe try to play it. I think I saw a full playthrough thing, and it was less than 20 minutes.
Is it just the Connor one?
Like, might as well.
Yeah.
We can talk about that.
A lot of people's impressions have been really good from the press thing. I mean, most of it was just the things we've seen. I think they maybe had like one or two other sections but past that, but not
again, I understand it's a big story thing. Like,
and they've already shown a lot. Yeah. I do feel like Detroit has been shown too much, because I'm getting tired of seeing those same few sections. I feel like I've seen them too much at this point. But
it's out next month, so
yes. Yeah.
Forget the date though. It's like the 18th.
I'll look it up. You go.
I believe it is 18th. Okay. Now, moving on. This comes from Chris Plant from Polygon. Call of Duty Black Ops 4 won't include a traditional single-player story mode, according to sources with knowledge of the project status. The shift in creative direction will make Black Ops 4 the first mainline Call of Duty to ship without a standard campaign. When tweets were common, Activision spokesperson said, "We don't comment on rumors and speculation. We look forward to revealing Black Ops 4 on May 17th. The sources, who asked for anonymity, I was trouble pronouncing that word.
It is a weird word.
Yeah. Said that as Black Ops 4's release date approached, it became evident that development on the single-player campaign wouldn't be completed. One source said Treyarch has since focused Black Ops 4's development on expanding multiplayer in the series' popular zombie mode. The source described an emphasis on cooperative modes as a potential stand-in for the typical single-player campaign experience. And other stuff related to this. Charlie Intel, which from what I've gathered is a popular Call of Duty related kind of fan site thing, heard a similar rumors. Apparently they knew this last month.
Yeah.
But they're smaller, so no one really talked about it. Similar rumors last month from a tipster, and the same tipster also informed Charlie Intel that Raven Software has reportedly been tasked with adding a battle royale mode to Call of Duty Black Ops 4 to fill the content gap of no campaign. And Stephen Totilo from Kotaku said they spoke to their sources and they said the same thing. So this comes from multiple people, so I buy it.
So it seems like all but confirmed at this point.
Yeah, and it wasn't in here, but or at least the part I read, because don't want to read everything.
Yeah.
But it seems like the reason they're not doing a single player mode, they tried to do it, but it just didn't work for some reason.
Right. That's what in theory. I mean, Call of Duty has a battle royale mode. I'd be like, okay, yeah. That makes sense with just the way everyone's going to have a battle royale at some point. And even if you had told me they have a battle royale and no single player, it's okay, they're focusing on the battle royale. But the fact that they were going to have a single player, it just wasn't going well.
No, apparently, and
that's the problem.
I remember this from the Easy Allies podcast last week. They pretty much said it was getting too crazy or something to that extent, too weird. And I like their reactions What's wrong with that? That's what we want.
Go weird. Yeah.
Go weird, man.
I guess they went too weird with their wall running and mech suits and stuff before, so people weren't happy about that. So maybe, I don't know.
Change is good, people.
I mean, yeah. But
I don't know how
that is slightly concerning. I mean, like, honestly, it's a little surprising, at least from my perspective, that something like this hasn't happened sooner. Really, like, we all like to make fun of Call of Duty games, but the fact that they've been able to continue having the top selling and a full game with like all these different features every single year. I know it's 3 different developers, but still, and that cycle has never faltered.
Nope.
For how many years in a row now? That's crazy.
Too many.
No, way too many to remember it. That's wild. So like, this makes. I mean, you know, I understand. I know that Treyarch, like everyone. I haven't played a Call of Duty since Black Ops 2. But at least from when I was playing it and from what I've heard afterwards, Treyarch is usually the most well-received ones. Like the Black Ops games are the games that everyone loves the most. They're not going to put out something subpar. And the fact that if they cut this single player, it's because they legitimately think the games will be better with this other mode. It's going to be weird, though, is as much as like I think most people care obviously way more about the multiplayer than the single player. But it is going to be weird to come out and like say, hey, this Call of Duty is still $60, but no single player campaign. It's going to feel like there's
less content.
Yeah.
I'm not really going to say anything about Battle Royale mode.
I mean, if you have the Battle Royale mode, but also, are people going to care about Call of Duty Battle Royale when there's free Fortnite and free whatever other Battle Royale modes
PUBG being, you assume half the price.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, but the difference is, if it's the Battle Royale mode on the same level, this is technically the first like AAA, like really big publisher one.
Yeah. Yeah,
unless
who knows? By then it might not be. But
okay, I'm going to throw this in there real quick. Similar thing. This comes from Jeff Grubb from VentureBeat. EA's DICE Studio is testing a Battle Royale mode for Battlefield 5 that features similar gameplay to mega hits like Fortnite and PUBG, according to similar knowledge of the studio, who has to remain anonymous. Grubb asked EA for comment, the publisher declined. Yeah. Same thing.
So, I mean, that's not surprising either. The fact that both of them have Battle Royale modes is not surprising. It's just the fact that it's coming at the cost of, it's like there's no single player for
we don't have a Battlefield 5.
Yeah, I was talking about for Black Ops. Yeah. But also, like, I'm sorry, I had heard about this story before, so I'm sorry, Jeff, I wasn't really listening to you like that closely. I heard it's only they said it would only be like a 50-man Battle Royale thing, right? Or at least at first. I think I remember seeing some report where the Black Ops thing might only be 50 players instead of 100.
Right, so I didn't see it.
There was a lot of things where it was like, I don't know, it's going to be, I feel like it's going to be hard to compete with some of these other ones. But I guess, do you still feel like Fortnite's going to be as high as it is now come this fall? Like, do you think that Fortnite is going to be, I mean, it's a weird comparison, but like a Pokemon Go type thing where it's like the public consciousness is like really popular and then it dies off? Or do you think Fortnite will stick around?
It may not be as popular just because it's at juggernaut level, so it's hard to keep at this.
Nothing.
But as far as, I feel like it has more legs than Pokemon potentially, because I feel like Epic's doing all the right things
because it's actually a good game where Pokemon Go wasn't.
IGN, it's not in the top 100 games all the time. I'm sorry. It's not right below Final Fantasy VII. I'm sorry.
I could buy most important games of all time for sure.
Yeah,
but
yeah, like you said, it's a game that's easier to go back to. People want to go back to, and it's getting better support and more stuff. Like Epic's doing a great job with that from what I've seen. So I feel like they can do it, and the way they're set up with being free to play, it's hard I feel like even for someone like a Call of Duty or Battlefield to kind of go in on that, because some people might be like, yeah, I could pay $60 for that Battle Royale mode, but I got Fortnite, it's free.
And all my friends play Fortnite. Yeah. And I can play Fortnite on my phone and get the same rewards. On like, I think you can go back and forth between your phone.
Yeah, and again, and all
like there's gonna be so many things drawing people, and like I just know that every single time I log into my PS4, there's some people on my friends list that I know don't play games that much, and I never really saw their icon up there much before. Always playing Fortnite.
Yeah, now, as said, this is still going to do very well.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
But
it's still a good idea.
No. Yeah, I don't blame any of these studios for doing it.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd call them stupid if they didn't.
I would too.
But I think it's going to be a lot to dethrone Fortnite. Like Like with PUBG last year, me and you were a lot more skeptical about their popularity, I feel like, than most people. Like them being able to maintain it.
Yeah.
We pretty much named reasons why they can be dethroned,
Yeah,
and we were right.
Yeah, that was even before Fortnite had any hint of becoming what it,
Yeah, I mean,
was,
pretty much what we thought could happen happened, but we just didn't think it'd be Fortnite.
Right. Yeah.
So, also just a little fun thing with all this, no single player mode and all this stuff going on. Will Call of Duty be the best selling game of this year?
I think probably, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's always the conversation with this year with Red Dead, but I just don't think. I think we talked about this. I can't remember if we talked about it on air or not, but I do think people are overestimating Red Dead a little bit.
I'm on the thing people are overestimating. I mean, Dead sold Redemption sold very well, but not like at the number people are talking about. And I get the whole sequels normally done better thing, but I don't know if it's as much as people say.
And in a post GTA 5 world, I mean, like, it's going to sell insane, but I just don't think like some people. Like some people like Jared Petty. I love Jared Petty, but Jared Petty was saying that like Red Dead's going to outsell GTA 5. That will never happen in 1,000 years. Like in lifetime, like
I honestly don't know if any Rockstar game will ever outsell GTA.
There
5.
might not be a game like a full at least a fully priced game like that ever outsells that. It's insane. I mean, like,
there was a story about it, but apparently GTA 5 is the best like selling media thing of all time now, even movies.
Or at least it was the biggest return on investment. It was the biggest for the amount of money put in. Like they've made the most money off of that.
Still,
it's insane. So I mean, I do think there's a chance with Call of Duty making this choice with the battle royale and no single player and like going more in that. This could help them if it catches on and battle royale is still big. It could have a boost in sales, or this could be the start of the decline.
Yeah, it's definitely
because
like you said, like people mainly buy it for the multiplayer. But there are people who get it for the single player, or partly for the single player that mess around with the multiplayer some.
It's weird. Like I know it's because we follow a lot of gaming journalists, and like most of them, like almost every one of them, are the ones that they always say like. I know everyone plays it for the multiplayer, but I play it for the single player. I just feel like I hear that so much that it makes me feel like that must be at least the somewhat sizable chunk. Like I know it's nowhere near the majority, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's just because those are the people we follow. I don't know, but
but the whole thing, and I hate to kind of see that guy kind of sound like this, but we're in a post Fortnite world now. Like
it's gonna be the most annoying like media game.
I hate to kind of
but you're right.
Be that guy, but now these games that focus on multiplayer have to pry people away from Fortnite. For the most part,
it's hard.
Again, it's free, and like you said, everyone's friends are playing it because it's free.
And I mean, the fact that like I legitimately think I might be able to go to my mom right now and say Fortnite, and she's heard it before, and that's
I think that happened to my mom.
That's hard, yeah. That's rough. I'm gonna go turn the air down because I'm gonna be very hot in here.
Okay, but I'll read the next story. You do it. I think this is also an interesting one. This comes from Alex Giladav from IGN. BioWare will focus on delivering an engaging story, world, and characters in Anthem, particularly following the failings of Mass Effect Andromeda and its lack of story DLC. In a recent blog post, the studio's general manager Casey Hudson discussed how BioWare will learn from the mistake it has made with the last Mass Effect title. Hudson touched on how the developer failed to deliver a story DLC about the unresolved plot of the missing Quarian arc, whatever that is, saying this is something the studio needs to avoid moving forward. Quote, as you know, we were not able to deliver story DLC for Andromeda. This was as frustrating for us as it was for players, and it was something we knew we had to solve in future games. End quote. The general manager also acknowledged BioWare needed to spend more time on the story elements in Andromeda, which is why the developer is refocusing its efforts on creating a rich story and world in Anthem. This sounds good to me.
Yep. I mean, yeah, there's not much to say on it, but it sounds like them going out there trying to like quell everyone's fears. Like, don't worry.
And here's the thing:
all you people that love Mass Effect, like,
and this is my thing. When I say it sounds interesting to me, is at least, admittedly, I've never had that much interest in Anthem. Like, obviously, I watched that thing last year.
It looks cool. But
for some reason, I didn't get the feel that it was a story-driven game.
Well, no, I mean. because everything around it was kind of thinking it was like, yeah, Destiny.
Yeah.
And I still am not convinced that just him coming out here saying this. I mean, when Bungie was promoting Destiny, they were like leading up to that. They were saying this is gonna be like a narrative saga that rivals Star Wars. That's the way they were promoting Destiny. So yeah, this means nothing. I mean, like this kind of, in a way, it's good, but it also, I think this is trying to get people to calm down who are worried about BioWare and the Mass Effect fans who want this. Because, like, obviously the game's going to have some sort of story, but it's also going to have some games as a service elements. Who knows what the balance is going to be there? And will Anthem be fun for you to play alone by yourself? And will you get a compelling story, or will it just be weird lore stuff like Destiny, where there's cards and stuff?
By the way, we're not going to talk about that Destiny expansion because we have no opinion on the matter. We know is people don't like it.
If you're into Destiny enough and you listen to gaming podcasts, you probably have some other podcast that knows about it. So. Yeah. Andrew Renee did not like it, but
I saw the time codes for that. It's like, oh, she's going to go in.
I have nothing to say, but everything I've heard about Destiny ever since like last fall has been just progressively like more and more angry. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Sorry for you people. What's drafts update for us, Jeff?
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
Draft time.
Apparently, for the Bills to get that on QB, I was paying attention. They traded with the Bucks. I don't know what they got for it. Quick, Bears got Raquan Smith,
draft time.
Linebacker from Georgia. 49ers got Mike McGlinchey, tackle from Notre Dame. Makes sense. Cardinals got Josh Rosen, QB from UCLA. And Dolphins got Minkah Fitzpatrick, safety from Alabama.
Is Palmer retiring? Did he retire?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Seems like it's getting close to time.
Either way, I think that's a good pick.
No, they need to be getting a quarterback. Redskins coming up.
Yep, Bucks up right now.
Yep.
Okay. So, you got nothing more to say about Anthem?
Not really.
I'm interested to see more and see like where that goes.
Can't decide if that light is bad for my head in the shot or if it should be dark. I don't know, Jeff.
No.
Trying to become a
cinematographer. Move the paper. Okay, next story. This comes from Evan Campbell from IGN. 1111 Memories Were Told is a new narrative adventure game from Valiant Hearts director Jon Finis and his team at Digix Art. Focusing on World War I, the game is being made in partnership with Bandai Namco and Aardman Animation Studios, which is behind movies like Wallace and Gromit and Shaun the Sheep. Fanny said in a quote, "It's a part of the history that touches me personally, as my great-grandfather fought in the trenches. He lost a leg and his brother there. This is only one family story among so many others, sadly." End quote. Venice believes 1111 Memories Were Told is important so society doesn't repeat the same mistakes of our history. He also wants the game to be our little poppy for the gaming community, noting how poppy flowers are worn in remembrance of fallen soldiers. Currently planned for PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One, 1111 Memories Were Told has no release window at this time. I'm excited. I'm probably getting this game.
Yeah, it's very ironic because I literally just beat Valiant Hearts.
Oh, yeah, you did? How'd you like it?
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
good,
it was really good.
I knew you would.
I'm in the process of writing a 20-page history paper on it.
I'm telling you, you'd like that game for years.
Oh, yeah, I definitely did. There's definitely part of me, like, I feel like we all kind of have those holes in gaming where you're bad at it and you know you're always going to be bad at it. There's some like part of my brain where puzzle solving in games is supposed to be, and there's just a giant hole there, at least for some of it. Because there's just sometimes I feel like even there's puzzles that are not supposed to be that hard, and I'm just sitting here like I struggle with patience. So there was definitely some times in Valiant Hearts where I was just like, okay, let me go. Like, I'm just ready to get through there. But as far as like the characters and art style and the way they simplified the World War I story, but told it in like a really cool way.
Right, it gave you stuff so you can look further if you wanted to.
Yeah. And it's basically like part game, part history novel. Yeah. But they framed the history. It's like you basically end up by the end of it, you've read a whole history novel, but you don't feel like you did. Yeah. It's like a lot of fun. Yeah. Really well made game. So lots of heart in it. And that's what I'm glad to see. World War I is obviously very important to him. There's a lot of history with him. So I'm glad that he's not trying to just do something else for the sake of it. It's cool. Yeah. Yep.
And we saw a teaser trailer. Art style looked cool. Mm-hmm. And yeah, him focusing on history and like similar things Valiant Heart. I am in.
I am down. Yep. I am down.
They gotta talk me into not being this game. And also interesting, I guess, is with Bandai Namco now instead of Ubisoft.
Right. Yeah. It's weird. I mean, I guess that was when did that game come out? It was a while ago. I feel like that was like there was a time period where Ubisoft was going for some more like smaller indie games like that, or not, not indie games, but
see, more of those big publishers should do that because when like them and EA do it, it normally turns out pretty good.
They should. I was gonna say that like Ubisoft.
2014, man. I thought that thing would have came out way before that.
Yeah, I thought it was further ago than that. I mean, I was gonna say that I feel like Ubisoft still does that, but I guess they kind of don't. At this point, most of the Ubisoft games I think of are the big AAA ones, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry. So I don't know. Bandai Namco has their hand in a million different things, though, so that's fine. Mm-hmm. That's fine.
So, Darby, you ready to talk about a new Platinum Games game?
Yes.
Yes, this comes from Alessandro Fallari from GameSpot. Developer Platinum Games, the studio behind Bayonetta and Nier Automata, is known for its brand of action games that focus on kinetic hack-and-slash gameplay. With that particular story in mind, developers are launching a new IP known as Worlds of Demons, a samurai action RPG game that seeks to deliver the same style of intense gameplay to mobile phones. Yep.
And it's dead. Yep. The dream is dead.
Oh, just wait till the next one, Darby. Made in collaboration with DNA Games, the mobile games publisher behind Final Fantasy Record Keeper and Fire Emblem Heroes. They're getting work. Platinum Games' World of Demons focused on bite-sized character action gameplay while also telling an evolved story. Set in ancient Japan where creatures of myth and folklore are real, World of Demons puts you in the role of wandering samurai Onimaru, who must vanquish a powerful demon king that has invaded the land. And if you look for this article by more, it's a lot more details about like gameplay and stuff. But I wasn't going to read all that here.
I'm so like just prejudiced against.
The game looks so cool though.
Well, I mean, it probably is good. I mean, like
I know
it's like I don't like being one of those people that are just like it's a mobile game so it's bad immediately. Like I completely admit like I'm sure there are lots of mobile games that are very, very good and that people have figured out how to make good games in that space. It's just not how I want to play games. I just hate playing games on my phone, and I don't know. I hate looking. I get a headache just looking at my phone normally throughout the day, and I don't want to look at it anymore, much less play games on it. So that is a deal breaker for me. I mean, that is the type of thing when it's mobile. Is like I don't really want to unless it's very specific. Unless it's like Florence. Yeah, it's like a 30-minute experience. Down with that, but yeah.
Okay, ready to move on to something else, Story that made more people angry?
Yes.
Okay, this comes from Shabana Arif from IGN. A new Castlevania title has been announced with Grimoire of Shadow coming to iOS.
And the fact that like so many people like legitimately they're like, oh, Castlevania, and then like that. Yeah, not knowing.
The game was revealed on its official website with the details translated by Gamatsu, and while an iOS release might seem like less than ideal news for some, that's one way to put it. The game has up to 4-player co-op, including a more competitive mode, and a brand new story for this series. Grimoire of Soul is set in a future where Count Dracula has been completely destroyed. Of course, the newfound peace doesn't last long, with the protagonist of the story, Ginya Arikado, receiving a letter telling him the Grimoire has run wild and Count Dracula will be resurrected.
Right, Jeff, do you want to have the more interesting conversation from this?
I assume if you're going where I want... Yeah, that was my plan.
Do you think this means that we could be getting actual good Castlevania in the future? Do you think this is a sign for a new commitment to Castlevania?
I think it could be. And kind of similar to even the Platinum thing, I'm going to use Nintendo as an example. Their mobile games have generally done, pretty well. Yeah. And given more light to their properties, make people more interested in their regular games. This could be doing the same thing. With Platinum games, it could be like, okay, here's kind of our games. You can play the kind of games on console for us. Right. And also, it could just be an easy way for them to make money as well.
Yeah, I mean, definitely think that's part of it. But
yeah, this could be a thing for Castlevania. It could be to get it into the eyes of the normal people. With the Netflix series and this.
I mean, this could be an easy, between the Netflix series and then this being, this is probably a pretty easily made, or at least it's probably not as hard to make this mobile game as it would be to make some other things. Between that and the Netflix series, I do think it's starting to seem like they're slowly trying to put Castlevania back in front of people, and I would not be very surprised if maybe end of this year Game Awards announcement.
Imagine
new Castlevania
E3 Nintendo.
I'm not saying E3 because I don't want it to be all the way a year from now, and it's not going to be in 2 months. Maybe it will be.
No, or just imagine, or just a general new Castlevania game announced, Switch exclusive. Then next trailer, Smash logo, Simon Belmont.
Then maybe it will be this E3. You never know, Jeff.
I
Believe.
I feel like a Castlevania game exclusive to Switch is a possibility.
You want to make that bet?
I don't know if I want to make the bet necessarily out of it, but I could see it happening, especially since Bomberman was originally exclusive.
But Jeff, if you say you don't have to make the bet, but you need to. Do you want to say right now that's going to happen so that you look like a really smart man?
Sure, why not?
When that happens, all right.
Yeah,
Jeff will look like a really smart boy when Castlevania and Simon Belmont. I'm guessing for Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they get a Castlevania, it's got to be Simon.
Yeah.
No, that'd be.
I look hard.
Here's the thing about Konami. There's puzzling as far as Smash goes. It's like they have 3 great characters they can put in there: Snake, Simon, and Bomberman. But the problem is Konami.
Yeah.
Like that. It's weirdly enough, Konami is someone if they got 3 third-party characters, not many people would complain because the 3 characters I named fit.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
Konami has a lot of really cool characters and series held hostage inside their pachinko machines, and that's where they live.
Yeah. At least Bomberman's coming to other consoles so maybe it can sell better.
That's good.
I mean, I heard it sells pretty well, actually. Like, among the best as far as Bomberman goes.
On the Switch?
Yeah. So
being a launch title, definitely. I mean, with the Switch,
and they added stuff.
And there was not very many other games to buy.
They updated it and made it better. We need to play that. Moving on, Darby. This comes from Lucas Matney from TechCrunch. A Midwestern university wants to recruit the nation's best Fortnite players for its varsity esports team.
We missed our calling, Jeff.
Yep, and it's throwing out the dough to bring on some quality talent. Aston University in Ohio will embrace the furiously popular Battle Royale title into its competitive esports program, which will officially launch this fall. Fortnite will join the team's current competitive titles teams, League of Legends, Overwatch, Counter-Strike, Global Offense, and Rocket League. And let's see. The school's esports head coach Josh Buchanan said in a release, Fortnite appeals to both the core and casual gaming audience. We're excited to provide this platform for gamers who want to showcase their skills in a more competitive space. Fortnite facilitates an environment that allows players to get creative, innovate, and show off the mastery of their skills. Man, why can't we be born like 10 years later?
You know, I don't really like the Overwatch League. I prefer the college Overwatch players. You know, it's just a lot more raw and fun. Who did the Redskins draft?
Deron Payne, defensive tackle from Alabama.
You got a defensive tackle, Alex.
From Alabama.
This is the second year in a row that we got the defensive tackle from Alabama.
That probably means he's a really big boy, and everyone will love him there because everyone loves your defensive tackles in Washington.
Saints just traded up.
And the Saints just traded up. Okay.
I think they did anyway.
Couldn't have been that far at this point, but I don't know.
Who did they trade with? Oh, I think they traded up. Maybe they were always there when Payne did. I don't think they were there. Anyway, move
football. All right. Where were we? Oh yeah,
the Fortnite thing.
Fortnite. That's how big Fortnite's getting at this point, Jeff. People are getting paid money to go to college to play Fortnite.
Well, in just games and stuff. Yeah, that's a thing. Kids, you can get scholarships from playing games.
Like, I really wish I could go back in time to like kids in the 90s that were getting made fun of for liking video games and just tell them that one day.
And superhero stuff.
One day, the Avengers is going to be like the highest grossing movie in the world, and people are going to get paid to go play shooting games. It's a weird world we live in, Jeff. We live in the weird timeline. And I like it in some ways. I wouldn't say I love everything that goes on in our timeline.
No.
Would definitely not say that, but you know, sometimes it can be pretty all right.
I mean, the Patriots exist.
Yeah.
Football. Speaking of superheroes, this comes from Susanna Polo from Polygon. Titan Books will collaborate with Marvel and Insomniac Games to publish 2 tie-in books for Insomniac's upcoming Spider-Man, the first of which will be Spider-Man Hostile Takeover, a prequel to the events of the game. Quote, leading directly into the beginning of the game, Marvel's Spider-Man Hostile Takeover features some of Spidey's most famous friends and foes, says Titan's announcement exclusively shared with Polygon, including the Shocker, Echo, the Blood Spider, J. Jonah Jameson, Mary Jane Watson, and Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin. End quote. Written by author David Liss, who did The Ethical Assassin and Black Panther, The Man Without Fear, the book will feature Kingpin's plan to gain an iron grip on New York City and establish character relationships and details that will be continued in the game. Spider-Man Hostile Takeover will hit shelves on August 21st, 2018, just a few weeks before the game's release on PS4 on September 7th. And I mentioned 2 books. The other one's just an art book, I think. So I didn't really bring that up. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, for me it's like, if only this was a comic book.
I feel like that would be more appropriate.
Like Injustice.
Yeah, but I guess that it would also be a lot more work. But they could get someone to do it.
Yeah.
They could get someone to do it.
Yeah.
I just like I don't know. I always have the weird immediate reaction to I just assume this book's not going to be very good. I just assume it's going to be like a weird like tie-in cash grab thing. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it would be good. And I also feel like not many people are going to buy this.
Well,
Anytime these like supplementary things happen for games, like there was Halo books and everything, I just never hear about them. Like it never seems like people actually.
Let's hope this isn't like the Final Fantasy 15 movie where it actually tells you something about the plot and you need to watch it.
And you need to watch it to understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I don't know the thing.
And then they ended up just like adding in scenes from the movie into the game through patches. In Final Fantasy 15, that's something that happened. They just like added scenes.
They added a lot of things to that game, Darby.
It's really weird.
Oh yeah, I didn't put it in here, but there's another Final Fantasy crossover with Minecraft.
Are you serious?
Yeah, their Final Fantasy 15 stuff now in Minecraft. That's gonna be a thing.
Final Fantasy 15 never ends. All right, there you. I feel like we've said Final Fantasy 15 in basically all 51 of our podcasts. So probably.
Pay us, Square.
Yeah, Square. Where's that check? Where's that check, though?
Where's that check? You ready to move on, Darby?
Did I did look the other day, like, because I feel like I would very rarely like play a game and then want to like go read the weird like tie-in book from it because I don't feel like it would ever be good and I just don't ever care that much. The one game where I heard about it and I thought that actually seems awesome was Gravity Rush. But I looked the other day and I could not find that anywhere. I remember there was supposed to be some comic. Was that only in Japan?
I can't remember.
Because I feel like Gravity Rush would make sense. Like it's basically a comic of it in itself, and it's just like bright and cheery and wonderful. It doesn't need to be the best.
Justice comics are dope.
Yeah, that's just a big commitment because I'm not into. Yeah. I don't know. That would be cool too. But I thought Gravity Rush would just be an easy thing to do. But I remember there being. I remember the news story about a Gravity Rush comic that I looked for and couldn't find it anywhere. So I don't know. Anyway, okay. I'm ready to move on, Jeff.
Move on. Okay, this is the new thing I'm going to try to do because, we make big stories about when dates and stuff are announced.
Is it a new segment, Jeff?
Kind of, sort of, I guess.
What's it called? Make a name right now.
Rapid fire, I don't know. New dates, games, rapid fire. Whatever.
Rapid fire with Jeff.
Yeah, so I'm just going to list a bunch of news and we'll talk about stuff we want to.
Gotcha.
Okay, H1Z1 is getting an open beta on PS4 on May 22nd. No Man's Sky Xbox One date leaked for June 29th. No Man's Sky. Sonic Mania Plus is coming July 17th. Same day as Octopath Traveler. People who have bought the regular version can upgrade to the Plus version for $4.99 US.
What is in Plus, Jeff?
2 new characters, new stages, and a bunch of other little goodies.
Cool. Did you ever beat that game?
No, unfortunately.
Fake Sonic fan.
I know, but it's good I waited. I can do this. Worth it. Tacoma from Gone Home developer Fulbright is coming to PS4 on May 8th. Strange Brigade from Sniper Elite developer Rebellion is coming out on August 28th, like on all consoles, I believe. Wolfenstein 2 is coming to Switch June 29th, and Kickstarter horror title Agony finally has a release date and will be coming on PC, PS4, and Xbox One on May 29th. Anything to add in that, Darby?
Not really. No Man's Sky.
No Man's Sky. I'm excited for Sonic Mania Plus, though.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was pleasantly surprised. I didn't know they were doing the whole upgrade thing. It's like, I'm going to miss out on that.
You didn't, for just $5. Yeah. For the low price of $4.99.
Hey, it's better than buying the whole game again.
That is way better than... I wish more would do that. I wish more games would do just pay a little bit more to get that on.
Now,
I mean, I guess a lot do, actually. I mean, like DLC is usually just... Really, the only ones that do that anymore is Street Fighter with their dumb, here's the Ultimate Edition, here's the Super Mega Ultimate Edition, here's the Super Flippin' Awesome Edition. So, yeah.
Speaking of fighting games, Dragon Ball FighterZ announced the next DLC character. Fuse Zomos has been announced. There's no release date, and I'm ready to exterminate all those filthy Ningen, Darby.
Heck yeah.
And just people know Ningen means human / mortal.
Ningen.
Yeah.
Is this exciting to you?
This is very exciting to me.
Is
This is one of the DLC
ones you
characters I'm
want?
excited about. Do I need to explain the lore, Darby?
Yes. All right. This is Jeff. You have 1 minute. All right. Ready? Are you ready, Jeff?
Yeah.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Hold on. Go.
Okay, for people who play fighters, you obviously know Goku Black. Goku Black is Zamos, regular Zamos, who switched bodies with Goku in an alternate timeline. And he went back in time to meet another Zamos so they can work together to exterminate all humans. Oh, spoilers for Dragon Ball Super, by the way, but
Whatever.
This character
Nerds.
itself is a spoiler. So they work together,
taken, Jeff.
try to destroy Future Trunks' timeline. Goku and Vegeta come, beat him up some, and by the way, the regular Zamos they have is now immortal. So to defeat him, they use magical earrings to fuse together to make Fuse Zamos. And that's what this character in this game. So it's Zamos, the Green Kai, Supreme Kai dude, but with Goku hair.
So wait, they fused to make him? Wait,
Yes.
Trunks did?
No, okay, Goku Black and Zamos, who are the same person technically, fused
Yeah, that's
together.
I thought they were the same person.
Yes, they fused
How
together.
does that happen?
Magical earrings.
Okay.
See, Darby, if you...
So he fused with himself
Yes.
to make a new him?
Yes, a more powerful him.
Okay.
More godly. And that's Saiyan blood.
All right, we're past your minute.
Okay.
You did it. Congratulations. I'm excited to try to learn the moves with him, but get killed over and
Oh
over
yeah,
by you.
from what it looks like,
No,
for people who
understand.
play Marvel vs. Capcom, he seems to be kind of like Magneto. Like, he looks like he can fly and control his directions and stuff.
Interesting.
This should be dope. More range.
I'll probably be very bad at him, like I am with every other Dragon Ball Fighter character.
Yeah. We need to play more.
We do.
We also need to play the Injustice DLC.
We need to just stop having so many responsibilities, Jeff, and we can play
I
everything
agree.
a lot more all the time.
Let's do it. Okay. Speaking of responsibilities, E3 stuff, Darby.
E3, it's coming very soon.
Microsoft and Ubisoft have announced their E3 conference times, so what I'm just going to do is read the 4 we have now so people just know. Make it easy. EA conference is Saturday, June 9th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Yeah, all these times are going to be in Pacific time.
Yep.
Microsoft is Sunday, June 10th at 1 p.m. Bethesda's Sunday, June 10th at 6:30 p.m. Ubisoft is Monday, June 11th at 1 p.m. Not really much changes besides a little.
Nah.
I'm pretty sure Ubisoft is actually at the exact same time.
Really, the only difference is Bethesda is not absurdly late this time.
Yep. So if we're able together, what we'll be able to do is do Microsoft, watch that, record, and maybe chill a little bit for Bethesda.
Yeah.
Because on heat.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah. Like, yeah, that's Pacific time. I wasn't thinking. So yeah, that's gonna be at 9:30 for us still.
Still late, but it's not 11, so that's
Yeah.
that's a lot better. I'm excited, Jeff. I'm excited for E3. I want to do some cool E3 stuff.
We need
Like
to.
last year, I mean, obviously we were not that far into this podcast. Didn't really know what we were doing. I think I didn't do any video stuff because I was just a scared little boy who didn't know what he was doing with any of that. But I'm prepared this time, Jeff. As long as I guess if my whatever job I have is not too taxing,
So,
I am down to
alright,
go
just
crazy.
A reminder, we need to figure out when we're gonna do our E3 like prediction stuff.
Yes.
We got a couple weeks, but we just need to figure out when.
Guys, it's only weeks away.
It's only like 6 weeks away or something like that.
Wow.
It's almost May.
Wow.
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 Okay, Darby, you. That needs to be our intro. We just go wow. Okay, Darby, it's time for a revision to an old segment. We've had PlayStation Plus versus Xbox Game of Gold. Now we got PlayStation Plus versus Xbox Game of Gold versus Twitch Prime.
A new competitor has come onto the battlefield.
And people, remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you have Twitch Prime.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor or anything. It's just good.
I guess
Good things to know.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's all you need to know. In case you missed it a few weeks ago when that was announced. Yeah, Twitch. If you have Twitch Prime, you get free games every month now, just like PlayStation Plus.
And you get a free Twitch sub. Just give it to someone because that's just free money to someone.
Technically, there is a Twitch account called Nerds at Large Gaming. We have literally never done anything with it, but hey, if you just want to throw it to someone, do it.
We need to figure out how to do that, Darby.
I don't even know if you can. I don't know if I need to do something else first, but
To do subs, they need to be a partner. Is that
probably.
Yeah.
Sad.
Then give it to someone at least.
Get someone in need.
Yes. Okay, PlayStation Plus. Beyond Two Souls for PlayStation 4. Rayman Legends for PlayStation 4. Risen 3 Titan Lords for PS3. Eat them! With exclamation point. PS3. King Oddball for everything Vita, PS3, PS4. And
Vita.
Vermins for PS Vita.
Yep, Vermins.
Yep. I play Beyond Two Souls. It's solid.
That's the first time I've heard someone say something positive about Beyond Two Souls.
I feel like people hate on it a little too much, but I
There's a
also
lot
like
of
pay
games
20
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of games that
I don't think it's bad if people say it's okay.
I feel like there's a lot of games like that where people just like it becomes the popular thing. It just becomes the popular narrative that it's terrible, so people just say it's terrible without knowing anything. Like me, if someone said something about Beyond Two Souls, I would be like, "Oh, I hear that's terrible" or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I never played it, so yes.
Rayman Legend, on the other hand, I've heard nothing but great things. I need to play that. Yeah. If this version has the soccer game in it, we need to play that.
I just realized it was Eat Them. I thought you said Eat Them,
No, eat them.
like the name, like
Yeah.
like a man's name. It's Eat
Yeah.
Them. Okay.
Yeah. Going to Xbox Game of Gold, we got Super Mega Baseball 2 for the Xbox One. Yeah, it's the headlining
It's
game.
not your grandma's baseball.
Yeah, headlining it over Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Who cares about that?
Oh, whatever.
Yeah. Next game, Sega Vintage Collection Streets of Rage for the Xbox One, Xbox 360. And then Vanquish, Xbox One, Xbox 360.
I still just can't get over. You know, in big letters, Super Mega Baseball 2, and then I guess Metal Gear Solid.
Now for Twitch Prime, Gone Home, Psychonauts,
Solid.
High Hell, I Hope, Cluster Truck, and Titan Souls.
So there's one thing I can tell you right off the bat. It ain't PlayStation this week. I think it's either Xbox or Twitch.
Yeah. Rayman Legends is great, but yeah, just as a whole.
I mean, for me, it's basically Gone Home versus Metal Gear Solid 5 and Phantom Pain. And which one's giving you the better deal? Absolutely 100% Metal Gear Solid 5 and Phantom Pain. I can't imagine Gone Home costs too much.
Vanquish and Streets of Rage, which is a classic. I'm not even joking there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I'll go with Xbox Games with Go this month. Maybe.
Yeah, that's where I'm going at. Yeah, that's where I'm getting at. So Xbox.
Yeah, for Twitch, yeah. For Twitch
Yeah,
Prime,
Gone Home. Gone Home is amazing, but like it's like $20.
Psychonauts, heard good things about.
Maybe. Yeah.
Cluster Trucks, I've heard good things about. I think I'm kind of funny.
Yeah, Cluster Truck's funny. It's good.
Yeah.
And Psychonauts is also a classic like that.
Yep.
Both good choices.
Yep.
But Xbox. Xbox has won.
Yep. Now I got a new competitor, Darby. That makes me think more interesting.
Yeah.
Plus more free games.
3 ways there.
Yeah. Hopefully they all announce them at the same time, make it easier.
And I don't know, Twitch might win some of these. PlayStation usually
Oh,
wins,
no.
but now PlayStation not even considered.
Now, here's
this.
the thing, like,
It's like, yeah.
no, Twitch has had at least 2 like really good games the last every month so far.
We'll see if it stays. You know, they have to get people on board, and we'll see.
Oh, I need to remember to get SteamWorld Day 2. That's this month.
I have not done that yet.
We need to.
Yep. I need to do that.
Yep.
Remind me to do that.
Yep. Okay, Darby, it's time for NPDs.
Yeah, sales time.
We got a lot of sales stuff, Darby. Beyond the NPDs.
Will this carry us to the end of the show?
Oh yeah, this is it.
Good.
NPDs and then one more thing.
Because it's good that we didn't have a main topic because we've gone long. But we've also gone long because we knew that we could go long.
Exactly. Okay. Ready for NPDs, Darby?
I am, Jeff.
Top 10. Number 1, Far Cry 5.
No, of course.
And, of course, I like to add extra information where it's needed. Far Cry 5 it set a new launch month sales record for the Far Cry franchise, with consumer spending on full game sales nearly doubling that of previous franchise best, Far Cry 3. Publisher Ubisoft is the leading publisher in both March and 2008 year to date, so January for March.
Wait, I'm sorry. Say that again.
So Far Cry 5 best starting month for Far
Yeah.
Cry, and Ubisoft is the top selling publisher for March and just 2018 in general.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Number 2, Sea of Thieves.
That's the surprising.
Yeah, and Sea of Thieves generated the highest launch month sales for any title produced by developer Rare since tracking by the NPD Group began in 1995. We're going to come back to this, Darby.
Okay.
MLB 18, the show. And that's no surprise. Number 4, Kirby Star Allies. No digital sales.
Yeah.
Kirby Star Allies has had the strongest debut month of sales in the U.S. in the franchise's history, according to NPD Group. The Switch side-scroller had a 90% better debut month than 2002's Kirby Nightmare Dreamland, which last held that distinction.
Wow.
Yeah. Also important to note, this is impressive by no matter what, but this is by revenue. and Nightmare in Dreamland is a Game Boy like advanced game, so it's like half the price.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but still very good.
Very
And
good.
we'll get into how good a little later.
Okay.
Number 5, Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah, I think it's always stayed on that 5 spot.
Yeah.
Number 6.
Again, just who are these people who have not bought Grand Theft Auto 5 and are
I
still
know.
buying them now? I still don't
Every
get
month.
it.
I don't. Yeah. Okay. Number 6, Call of Duty World War II. Okay. 7, Mario Kart 8. No digital sales.
Hanging on.
Yep. 8, Ni no Kuni 2, Revenant Kingdom. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad.
Very niche.
Yeah, it's very, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not never gonna sell that
Number 9, NBA 2K18. And number 10, Monster Hunter World. Finally, that drop.
Yeah.
And Dragon Ball Fighters is in the 10th.
Was
So
Monster Hunter still up at the very top in February?
Yes, it was.
Okay.
And Fighters, yeah, also dropped as well. Still in the top 20, but.
Yeah.
And number 15, A Way Out. Not including PC digital sales.
Okay, that's big.
Yeah.
That's big. But
And-
it seems low for a way out, but the way out was never going to sell that much. But it for what it projected to do, then
It's over a million.
Yeah, it like way beat what it projected. So
Yeah.
that's it's surprising that it's over a million and it's that low because I just some of this like Sea of Thieves like I chalked up to like maybe March didn't seem like that big of a month besides Far Cry 5, but
Like, I'm honestly shocked at Sea of Thieves being number 2 just because of Game Pass.
yeah, because this is not counting Game Pass, right? If you
No,
got it
no,
on
this
Game
is
Pass,
revenue
this is-
of people just buying Sea of Thieves by itself.
right?
And
That-
it sounds like I've been hearing people only getting it through Game Pass.
Which is weird. Like, so do you think this is a sign that the Game Pass thing is not really gonna affect sales as much as we think it's going to, or do you think it's just because this is the first one and maybe people haven't gone on Game Pass as much yet?
If you make sure that, honestly, I'm surprised even without the sale pass, Sea of Thieves is up there.
Yeah, I am too.
But putting in the on Game Pass is crazy. One thing that could be potentially is, people want to Sea of Thieves, but, potential or were motivated to actually get it because their friends got Game Pass, they're able to play together. I can see that being a
Right.
factor for a fair amount of people.
It's like, you have it, so I'll just go ahead and buy it. So we
You
can play
get a
it.
game,
yeah. I can see that, and also, I mean, there was a good bit of marketing for Sea of Thieves, and Sea of Thieves looked very fun. It was a game
Yeah.
that I really wanted to play, like looking at it, and I mean, but just from everything I've seen, it was really fun immediately. But basically, the beta was the game. There is not a lot of content in Sea of Thieves. Like, I've seen people streaming it and everything, and I've pretty much seen what there is to offer in Sea of Thieves, which is really fun for like 3 hours, and then there's just it's not a complete game. Sea of Thieves is not a finished game, and maybe a year from now it'll be a finished game, but I feel like it'll be too late from there. But so I don't know. I don't know if this is just they got a lot of people on board now, and then just the actual retention is going to be terrible, or
I expected a big drop next month.
or
for sales.
it's going to be one of those things where it's like, I mean, like Rainbow Six Siege, you thought it was dead, and then you lift up a rock and people are playing it everywhere. Like, there's just a huge community of people playing it. So maybe that'll be the same thing with Sea of Thieves, but I kind of feel like this is just had a big launch and it's just going to immediately die.
I really wish you guys had Xboxes. I understand why you don't for sure.
Yeah.
So we
really
need Game
nothing
Pass. So we can.
very few things compelling me to get one right now,
no,
but I do too.
understand.
I mean, I would play Sea of Thieves on PC and stuff too, but I also don't. The promise of Sea of Thieves is awesome,
Yeah.
but it doesn't seem like there's enough there to justify buying it.
See,
And that's what I would have to buy it on PC or
Yeah.
something, and you would have to buy it on PC if we're going to play there, unless it was crossplay.
it's
crossplay. Okay.
Yeah, we'd be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, we'd have to see, but it's just, it seems like it has a problem a lot of these games and service does. It's just not.
I
it's
want
not
Microsoft to give me a reason to get that Game Pass
I don't know.
because it's a great deal.
I know. Yeah. See if these is not worth it if you don't have people to play with, though.
Yeah.
That's definitely.
Honestly, if I hear great things like State of K2 or Crackdown 3, like the reviews are just really good, why not?
Did Crackdown 3 get a release date after it was pushed back?
No. There have been rumor release dates, but nothing confirmed.
Like, we're going to come up on a year since the game was supposed to come out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You tell you, Darby. You tell you. But reviews are great. I'll get Game Pass to try it out, even if I cancel it that month.
Yeah, it's just $10
YOLO.
advance.
Oh, yeah, and with hardware stuff for NPDs, Sony's PlayStation 4 remained the best-selling console in March and 2018. The Nintendo Switch's 32 gigabytes with red and blue Joy-Con controllers was the best-selling hardware in March in 2018. I know that's confusing because I pretty much kind of said similar things for the PS4 and this Switch thing.
What?
Read that, Darby. It said PS4 remains the best-selling console in March 2018. Hardware.
Okay, so explain.
Okay, I think it's the PS4 in general, counting Pro mixed together. Potentially, yeah, it's the best selling thing. But as far as like an individual SKU,
it was
the Joy,
okay.
Switch with the red and blue Joy-Cons.
So that probably just means there's a decent amount of people buying Pros, or they're just close enough to where Pros put them over the edge. I have seen, like, in the just Facebook groups I'm in, I have seen a pretty big uptick in people saying, I finally took the splurge and went and gotten Pros. So no, I'm not either. I'm not worth that money.
I'm happy that this is a year I don't have to buy a console. If you count PSVR, I got three last year.
The only way I'm seeing is if like my PlayStation died. But even at that point, I imagine there's still a decent enough like price discount and me getting an original one to where like I'm just gonna do that.
Especially we're getting closer and closer to the next gen.
I ain't made of money like these people, I guess.
Yep. Okay, are you ready to move on from NPDs?
I am.
Final thing. Last night, Nintendo had their finance report.
Oh boy.
So there's a lot of...
It's actually very interesting.
Yeah. And I think they're having another thing like tonight that might give us some goodies. So, yeah. I'm going to run through a lot of the details. I mean, not a lot, but not too much. And I'm just for us out there, all sales related data are sales as of March 31st, 2018. So not counting the last month. Okay, well, something non-game related. Current Nintendo president Tatsumi Kimishima will retire in June and will be succeeded by Shintaro Furukawa. Furukawa is currently a board member for both Nintendo and the Pokemon Company. So we're getting a new Nintendo president. And from what I've seen, this is a good pick.
Okay.
He's young, which is...
That's always good.
Yeah, that's their... I didn't know this would make Furukawa only the 6th president in Nintendo history.
Wow.
So people are in for
holy crap.
So people are in for the long haul.
Yeah,
that's their plan, and that's a good thing. And apparently, he was like had his hands decently in marketing the Switch, and he's a big marketing guy.
That's good.
Which is good. Yeah, and he's had
hopefully that will improve some of the Japan to America communication.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, something that just I kind of like. It's not the biggest thing in the world, but he's apparently fluent in English.
No, I mean, it really is. It helps when it comes to communicating things in America. And just in general, I mean, like maybe we're reading too much into just this one guy's position, but I feel like a younger person is probably what Nintendo needs for the Switch and for marketing in the America.
I think I read something. I think that's what they kind of said. They wanted a young guy. They wanted someone who kind of closer to the age group of the people and someone who can be someone to last. And Kimishima said they've been looking at this guy for a while.
Yeah, because Nintendo could come across as very stubborn and set old fashioned and kind of like backwards at times. Yeah. So I think that's a good choice.
Oh yeah,
knowing very little about him.
Same thing. The things I read is like this is a good choice, and maybe he'll do kind of like a water with the directs.
That would be cool.
They had that charm.
Yeah, cool.
And now we're getting to the Switch and Switch game sales. Which
he'll have to have a different hand motion.
Of course,
he can't have the same one.
Yes. Okay, the Switch has sold 17.79 million units, and they have forecasted a sale of 20 million units for the next fiscal year. And so 20 million additional units.
They sold this much in 12 months. I think I saw something the other day. The PlayStation 4 sold 18 million in 13 months. So it's basically like... It's right along.
I think it is. I think it's this 13 months.
Okay, this might have been 13 months
because it came out in March, which is the last month of the last fiscal year.
Right. Okay. Either way, it's like right around the same selling level as the PlayStation was in its first year, which is wild.
Yeah. And PlayStation 4, at least my thing, had kind of two holidays in a way to do stuff.
Yeah, and Nintendo just had one. Yeah, pretty. Yeah.
And Super Mario Odyssey has sold 10.41 million units.
That attach rate.
So I think it's close to eclipsing, like, I think 64 in Galaxy in sales.
Wow.
Yeah, so being like maybe the top 3D Mario. It's not going to touch some of the 2D Mario ones, but Bleedy.
So those have just been resold so many times.
Yeah. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has sold 9.22 million units. This means it sold more than the original Mario Kart 8. And it's sold more than a good many of them. Yeah. So people who were talking shit about them doing this port...
Oh, that was the smartest business move you ever could have made. It's just the poor Wii U, man.
Breath of the Wild has sold 8.48 million units on Switch, and when including the Wii U sales, it's the top-selling Zelda game of all time.
That's kind of sad. It just feels like Zelda shouldn't be the top-selling. By 8 million.
Yeah.
That seems low.
The Wii U puts it over 10 million at least.
Yeah. I feel like that number hasn't gone up very much recently. Like maybe Breath of the Wild's slowing down a lot, but sales wise, I feel like it's been around.
Also, I will say this because there's a little asterisk to this potentially. If you count like the re-release of I think Ocarina of Time on GameCube and 3DS, I think technically that's more.
Right.
But as far as like an individual release, Zelda is still the most, and it probably will eclipse that at some point.
Oh yeah.
Because, it's a decent leap far ahead. Okay, next. Splatoon 2 has sold 6.02 million. Means it has outsold the original. So, Splatoon, as a series, has sold about 12 million.
Wow.
So, good for Splatoon 2.
Splatoon.
I love Splatoon. 1-2 Switch has sold 2.29 million. I think it sold like another 500,000 the last time we talked about it.
Who is still buying 1-2 Switch? I guess kids. You dumb kids.
Yeah.
Dumb kids play some good games.
Yep. ARMS has sold 1.85 million. So
that also has not changed much. I feel like it's been around that level.
Xenoblade Chronicles 2 has sold 1.31 million, making it the best-selling Xeno game. And definitely the first Xenoblade game to break 1 million.
Oh, that's so much more. That even 1.31 is way more than I would have thought. So that's
Yay, more Xenoblade stuff.
Yeah. Oh, you're getting more Xenoblade.
Yeah, good for Monolith Soft. And from the sounds of it, what we heard for the next game, you might even be interested. It's more of a medieval thing. Maybe less anime.
That is interesting.
Apparently it'll be medieval, but still have mechs. I don't know what that would mean.
That makes me less interested.
I don't know. I've read really
You're starting to lose me.
Kirby Star Allies. 1.26 million after only 2 weeks.
Damn, son.
And like we said in PDs, it's the best selling Kirby as far as that time period. So games just sell on Switch as this all goes.
Yeah.
And last sales thing, not related to Switch, SNES Classic has sold 5.28 million.
They made enough to sell 5.5 million or 5.28 million.
Yeah.
Good for them.
When's our N64 Classic, Darby? When are we getting that?
I don't know, man.
I want it. So Nintendo doing pretty good.
Yes.
I think
Nintendo doing very good.
I think I saw a little graph that showed since 1980, so probably about all time. This was one of their top 5 in revenue,
top 5 years,
and sales ever.
That's. I mean,
and the only other years were Wii years, of course.
Yeah, it seems crazy, but I believe it.
No, yeah.
It's.
And as the game shows, as the sales show, term best selling, blah blah blah. For this, there are a lot of that.
2017 is going to be one of the biggest turning points in Nintendo history, and that's how it's going to be remembered. It's flipping crazy to think back to 2015 and think about where we are now.
Yeah, I saw some comments when doing this about the president and everything. Some quote he said for the new president, we got to do what Nintendo does best on stuff. So some people actually say, "Oh, so that means we're not going to get a normal console from Nintendo."
Are people still wanting that?
Yes.
Stop, you fools. No.
I'm going to be upset if they don't make a Switch 2 for their next console.
Yeah.
No. I will call them dumb if they don't.
The Switch sold this well and they come out and be like, all right, here's our just normal little box that you just play your normal games in. But no.
I'm getting as they can't do any other gimmick. They got to keep on this.
Yeah.
It's the smartest thing.
Until this runs out. I mean, I hope this. I mean, I think this is way more here to stay than the Wii was.
Oh no! The Wii was a fad. It was very popular, but it was a fad. This is something that they can do little things with, maybe to change it up, something they feel like it. But the general thing of it, they got to keep it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a legitimate because it's not it's a new way to play games, but I'm still playing the game pretty much the same way. I'm just able to take it on the go and stuff
It's more versatile.
Yeah, it's a more practical gimmick, I guess, or whatever. Yeah. I guess if a gimmick is really just something that brings you in, I guess it is. But, whatever. A good gimmick for, whereas the Wii did the waggle controls for a while, and then you get tired of that. Switch, I'm never going to get tired of being able to take my game and play it anywhere I want.
And then put it on your TV and us. Yeah.
Never going to get tired of that.
No, again, if they change that, I'm going to call them dumb.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, Jeff, take us out with some draft news.
Okay.
Who did the Bengals take? Because I imagine we had to have gone at this point.
Nope.
God, the draft is slow.
It's the first round. It's slow as hell.
Slow.
Saints took Marcus Davenport, defensive end from Texas San Antonio.
Davenport.
Yep. Wow.
I don't know.
Raiders took Colton Miller, defensive tackle from UCLA. The Bills took Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker from Virginia Tech.
Okay.
Chargers took Derwin James, safety from Florida State.
All right, we're getting to the point where these names just don't mean anything to me, so I don't know what I'm looking for.
Packers, last one, got a cornerback from Louisville.
Cool.
Cowboys up now. You're 2 picks away, Darby.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'll be something lame, and we're just going to be bad no matter what, because we have freaking Marvelous. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Jeff, do you have any last parting words that you would like to say to us?
Look forward to God of War spoiler cast whenever that comes up.
Yes.
It'll probably be a little bit, but a couple weeks.
Yeah, we're in the middle of school stuff, so we have to try to get done with it and get time to play it
and
get time to record.
Yeah.
But we will have that soon. We'll probably talk like a little bit of impressions next week on, or whenever our next episode is, on just however our spoiler-free impressions.
Yeah.
But
expect probably Detroit demo impressions, because I heard that's really short.
Yes.
Yeah. I want to try to do that SNES Classic thing.
Yeah.
That's what I before.
Yeah. We have some ideas cooking, so be excited for it, Jeffrey.
Always.
I want to hit you with the light. All right, bye.
Okay, everyone, just the last minute thing we saw that was announced. Nintendo announced their E3 plans. This is the way it's going. On June 11th, from 3:30 to 6 p.m. Pacific Time, Splatoon 2, opening rounds, World Championship. Finals on June 12th. Their video presentation. Get a look at Nintendo Switch titles. No mention of 3DS titles, including the recently announced Super Smash Bros. Game, starting at 9 a.m. Pacific Time on June 12th. So the normal time. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Nintendo Treehouse Live. 3 days of Nintendo Switch gameplay with Nintendo Treehouse members and developers. Starts with the recently announced Super Smash Bros. Game right after the video presentation. So gameplay right after the presentation.
So that means that presentation's ending with some dope characters and
like
stuff.
Yep. It can't end with anything else.
Nope.
And then the Super Smash Brothers Invitational starts right after the conclusion of Splatoon 2 World Championship Finals on June 12th. June 12th, Smash Bros. Day. Well, and everything else day, but...
Let's go.
Yep.
Let's go.
I just real quick, I'm happy no mention of 3DS. Like,
yeah.
Video presentation, just Switch.
Down with the 3DS. Let it die, Jeff. Let it die.
And all the mention of Smash Bros. Let's go. Let the hype.
Let the hype flow through you. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Goodbye.